A group of public interest lawyers again on Tuesday stormed the National Assembly, submitting a petition to Senate President Godswill Akpabio demanding the immediate suspension and prosecution of Farouk Ahmed, the Managing Director of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. The lawyers cited grave allegations of corruption, abuse of office, and conflicts of interest against Farouk, including the alleged diversion of over $5 million of public funds to finance his children's education in elite institutions in Switzerland and India, led by Samuel Ihensekhien. They also accused Farouk of employing his son, Farouk Ahmed, in Oando PLC, a private entity directly under the Petroleum Regulatory Authority's oversight, constituting a clear conflict of interest. The petitioners further alleged that Farouk has fled the country to evade arrest and is hiding in a private island in the United States, an act they described as cowardly and indicative of guilt. They demanded that the National Assembly commence an immediate investigation, recommended Ahmed's immediate sack and suspension, and collaborate with international security agencies like Interpol to ensure his extradition back to Nigeria.
And one of our constitutional rights is to do oversight. In the wisdom of the architect of our constitution, the constitution invites the Senate to create committees to oversight the agencies of federal government, which will make our work, which will help us to achieve the intent of the constitution or the interest of our people. Therefore, welcome. I am ready to listen to you, but let us do it in accordance with the rules of the game. Let one of you address me, give me your claim, then overview of your petition or your complaint. Later on, we will find a way to sit down with you, with some members of the committee, at least to do justice on your claim. Thank you.
Provision as to freedom of expression. Basically, the gamut of why they are here is that they are seeking for public accountability from a certain Mr. Ahmed Farouq, who happens to be the managing director of NMDPRA, an agency under the federal government. There are sundry allegedly, there are allegations. The medias are awash with several allegations. So we are calling on the bodies which we have actually, these people have carried their peaceful assembly to, and their right to protest, and also the bodies that have been, petitions and letters have been sent to carry out their oversight duty, and for the security agency to also investigate to see whether these whole allegations have substance. But meanwhile, we are also advocating that in the interim, pending till when the issues are resolved or determined either in his favor or against him, that he should temporarily be relieved of his duty, because you cannot sit on an office where investigations are being conducted. So we thank the public who have also added voice to this advocacy, and because the whole essence is that we are Nigerian citizens, and in the line of renew our spirit of accountability for public officer, we are also to adding our voice to the reforms being made by one or two persons and basically the federal government to see how public officers and public servants can be accountable to the citizens.
The lawyers also called for the freezing of Farouk's local and offshore assets and sweeping reforms in the appointment and oversight of regulatory agency heads in the oil and gas sector. The petition is backed by civil society organizations, including the Situation Room for Oil Sector Reforms, the Concerned Young Professional Network, and the Coalition for Public Accountability, who have held protests calling for Farouk's suspension and prosecution. The petitioners emphasized that Farouk's action represents a clear abuse of office, a betrayal of the Nigerian people's trust, and a severe breach of fiduciary duty, and that his continued occupation of the position threatens transparency, accountability, and reforms in the petroleum sector.